welcome. Quickly, before I go into details about the new rank ups I've done from the Heatwave sales or whatever you're calling it, let's review the current rank 4s I have, because I know I have not posted all of them. So, we're gonna just kick it off. There won't be any gameplay attached with this video. I'll probably just go into like small details as to why this champion is currently rank 4. So the first rank 4 I made on this account is Iceman. I think he came during the Valentine's Day event, or whatever it was. I think that was it. I just know Epoch of Pain gave me a mutant gem, which I was like, okay, cool, I can give this to Danny. But then, Iceman came along, and I was like, hey, you know what? I'm a big fan of Iceman. If I get him in the event, and lo and behold, the first free crystal Kabam gave us, I've got 7-star Iceman, so I couldn't complain. I do BGs a lot, and we still don't have that many Cold Snap immune champs. Now, we do have some that are immune, some that are resistant, but hey, that comes with everybody. Everybody has counters out here. But, just looking at his sig ability at 200 rank 4, he's dealing 17,000 energy damage and Cold Snap from the beginning of the fight. So, that gets enhanced by the nose as a defender and all, of which I think Battlegrounds does 100% attack increase. I can't remember. But if it does, it's like dealing 34,000 damage. Just from him not doing anything, just existing in the fight. So that's like guaranteed damage in like most matchups. Plus, hey, he's Iceman, he can be useful. Occasionally I might throw him against Bullseye or someone else if my opponent does have some good or decent Cold Snap immune champions or high energy resistant champions where instead of taking damage, they're mostly going to heal over it. So we are running the crit rating stat focus. That's mostly because, his crits have a chance to place the Frostbite. They're like 70% chance, and I think that goes to like 100 while they have a Cold Snap on them. So yeah, the more we crit, the more Frostbites, the more we can detonate and inflict big damage. And defense is kind of standard, Pierce. Alright, this is getting nerfed. I don't know if it's been nerfed already. Actually, yeah, these look like they've been increased. I'll have to check to see, but who knows? I need to see how does the new nerf block penetration works, and who knows, we might change that. But for now, we got Iceman in all his glory. Alright, here we are. Rank 4 number 2 was Sentry. Wait, was it Sentry? Yeah, I don't know what I'm thinking. With Sentry. If you follow the channel, if you've been around in whatever alliance or line chats I've been a big fan of Sentry, like pre-buff, 6-star days. It was like, hey, I was that guy with a rank 4 Sentry, a rank 5 Sentry, now we got a 7-star, and we got this guy ranked up, max sig. It was buff, reworked, whatever you want to call it. There are changes that I would like to see Kabam make. I feel like they've skipped over the Gifted Guardians and the rebalance. But, like, hey, he's nullify immune, but if you put a stagger on him, the stagger will still nullify. Or, if you put neutralize on him, he can't gain buffs, which kind of gives him hard. And, just a few things to help him counter, like more the Mystic class. It's kind of like, you built this guy to kind of be like a counter to the Mystic class, make him a true counter to the Mystic class. And I do wish, like, in a mode like Battlegrounds, similar to Sentinel, he would start with similar, somewhat ramped up, at least make him more viable in that mode. But I get there are other modes out there, because, I've used him everywhere. Alliance War, like Tier 1 War, Incursions, in-game content, Necropolis, so Epoch of Pain. He's useful, it's just I would like to show off in Battlegrounds with him. Now, we are using the crit damage stat focus, which apparently was bugged since its release, but here under always active, it converts any crit damage rating to increase its attack by up to whatever this amount is. Now, I don't know if that's like a point for point thing, so like, hey, we're increasing the attack by 99, or is it like if it's based on like, hey, if it's like over 30 points, that might be like a 300 point increase, 30% or whatever. So I'm really not sure how that correlates, but I just know it works. Defense, I don't know why I have the physical resistance on him right now, but we'll keep it. It's not like I'm throwing him on defense or using him in battlegrounds anywhere. But lo and behold, Sentry, the mighty Sentry. Next up, we have my third rank 4 champion, Enchantress. She was purely a defensive play, defense rank up. Was like, hey, you know, I'm a current alliance. It was like, oh yeah, sure, I don't mind taking an Enchantress to rank 4 for defense. And here she is. You can see I pulled her a few times. Typical, she does have the Pierce stat focus. We are doing special damage for attack for the few times that I have used her, which is like, you know, random BG matchup or arena mostly. But yeah, she's kind of cool. You know, she can chain her combos into a passive stun with her heavy. She has a bunch of spells. Her ramp up is extremely long. It's kind of similar to Wong in a sense where you're throwing like 9 special ones and then you spam special 2 for the rest of the fight. Wong feels more satisfying, and the fact that he has the power gain mechanic on his heavy, it's like the ramp up doesn't feel as long compared to Enchantress. So it's like I don't know, she comes off as if, okay, she's forever's content, but it's like once you do what you need to do to help forever's content, it's exhausting. And then you kind of look at the numbers on your special too, and you be like, I did all of that for this? Like I said, I do wish she did have a power gain mechanic like Wong, or as potent as Wong does. I feel like that would really help. Like, you know, those new relics are coming with abilities. If she gets one that helps her get power gain on her heavy, I think that would actually be like, you know, 100% increase, because then you can quickly get to your specials, quickly get to your ramp, and she's more viable in offense. But we all know she's a nasty defender, especially the current meta in Battlegrounds. And here we are, rank 4, number 4. My man, my machine, whatever you want to call him, Sentinel, King Sentinel. So, I'm a big fan of Sentinel. This was another rank up where it was on my rank 4 list, and then, you know, whatever war season it was at, I was talking with my officer, and hey, next thing you know, we have Sentinel at rank 4 now. I'm a big fan. I've used the guy plenty during the last war season on most Node 3 matchups. I think the only time I didn't use Sentinel was the 2 times I was taking non-Node 3 fights. But yeah, you know, the guy, he also, like Sentry, reworked buff, and I think all of those gifted Glorious Guardians, I don't remember what they're called, but all 6 of those reworks were amazing. Plus, he has a cool special 3 where you can only use it once per quest, but when you do, you return with full health, which in a mode like Battlegrounds, that's also like amazing. Because like, hey, you know, current meta, if I'm fighting an Electro, I can get him down to like 30%, let him beat me up, get a special 3, fire my SP3, and then just do like a relic or a light attack, and Electro's down, and here I am at full health. I do like the fact that ramped up his debuff ability accuracy is increased, so it does bypass glancing, which is usually minus 100%, or, you know, other abilities or nodes that decrease it. I am running the special attack damage for his offense stack focus, since, you know, his SP2 does deal debuffs, and I'm not sure if this scales with the SP1 as well, but with the SP2, the increased special damage also increases the incinerate debuff damage he's dealing. So that's a way just to make my incinerates get stronger. Normally, you know, I go crit rating if I'm really relying on crits, but with Sentinel, we're mostly relying on the debuffs, which is why we're going special attack damage. And kind of standard, you know, you're using your Pierce or armor, block pen. What is this? Block penetration for defense. It's like Sentinel's a very tanky boy, so the fights kind of last a bit. And hey, you want to block, you'll take that extra damage, and you're really going to feel it. Rank 4, number 5. Now we have future AntMan, Fant, whatever you call him. AntMan future, if you want to go technically correct or whatever, I guess. But hey, I got this guy from Heart of Fire, gave him all the stones. I used to constantly ban him as a 6-star in Battlegrounds, then, you know, I kind of got glad where 6 stars kind of faded away, and so Fam faded in the background, and I didn't have to ban him anymore. Then he came out, and I'm like, you know what? I got a chance. I got a 7-star. Y'all gonna feel the pain I felt during my 6-star days. And here we are. We're running the special attack, or special damage, whatever, I don't know what it's properly called, the special damage stat focus here. You know, we're mostly relying on specials and the burst damage he did, so we're not really worried. I'm not worried about the crits or crit damage rating when it comes to that. You know, guy can be a pain on defense, not necessarily the toughest defender, but he can be very annoying. Then, you know, his big special too, especially when you have the disintegration on you, or detonation on you. Then, hey, you slip up, or there's a slight lag when you go to dash back, trying to dex it, and that SP2 more than likely is going to take you out. So, hey, good dual threat, offense, defense, I can't complain. When Heart of Fire dropped, I was like, I'm taking Nick Fury to rank 4. And lo and behold, that ended up not being the case. My Nick Fury's sitting at rank 3 right now. Shout out to fam. And here we have rank 4, number 6, my man Bullseye. I became a big fan of Bullseye for attack. Mostly because, you know, the guy has guaranteed crits, which I thought was cool. And unlike Misty Knight, she has guaranteed crits. So, hey. Plus, I like the skill class. We're running the crit damage rating, stat focus, or critical damage. Hits deal more, which Bullseye currently, all of his hits are crits. I am curious to try out armor penetration just to, because, you know, crits kind of ignore armor rating, or percentage of it, so might do a damage comparison and see if this is worth keeping, or should I go full on for armor pen for offense. But I think Bullseye, most people see him as a defender. I think he's totally underrated on attack. His current meta has him like super overpowered on attack, since it hits him to the block deal even more, and Bullseye's critting into your block, so that's just a nightmare. You know, he does have that evade that makes him, that can't be affected by ability accuracy reduction. It makes him annoying on defense, and those really difficult to dodge specials, which, you know, if you take the time, yeah, you can learn to dex, like especially the SP1. Takes time, takes practice, but hey, you can get there. SP2 is less punishing, you just don't want to block it because it does stun you. But I think the guy actually has some pretty good, like, you know, another solid dual threat. Defense, offense, doesn't matter. He can handle a lot of fights that people don't realize. Like currently I'm like slaying Enchantress with him, or, you know, Spider-Woman's annoying, he can go through that. Max Sig, he's taking over 99%, almost 100% reduced damage from power sting damage, so champs like Spider-Ham, Spider-Woman, you don't really have to worry about nodes that do inflict power sting. You know, the damage back is like very minute. You don't even take a full 1% from it, which is also pretty cool. Plus he can counter evade off his SP1, and he can counter miss just off the gate. Like I said, another solid dual threat. Rank 4, number 7, the most balanced champ in the game, the Serpent. This guy right here should be the standard for every character released. You know, according to Kabam, he's perfectly balanced, there was no tune-up needed, you know. We didn't care, but hey, maybe he could lose true focus on just being hit with a regular attack. They didn't care if maybe he could have, you know, lost his some force charges, you know, more from just one from being knocked down. You know, they asked what would you do to nerf the guy, and clearly there was nothing that could be done. But Serpent is the standard. If a character is released, especially in the Cosmic class, and they're not Serpent level, we got issues. You know, lately they said Deathless King Groot is perfectly balanced, but if you put him next to Serpent, it's like taking a player with 19 rank 4s in his Valiant compared to a player who just started the game like a few months ago and became Valiant, and they have, what, 2, 3 R4s that they need. Do you need R4s to be Valiant, or do you need R3s? I forgot. But anyway, they have 2 R4s and, you know, barely a developed 6-star roster, and even less of a developed 7-star roster. That's what I feel like when it's like comparing Serpent to any other Cosmic who Kabam says does not need to be rebalanced. But hey, we took him to rank 4 because honestly, I got tired of how tanky fighting rank 4 Serpents in Battlegrounds were. And I'm like, if I can't beat y'all, I'm going to join y'all. If I have to deal with it, y'all gonna deal with it too, unless you ban the guy. Granted, it's current Battlegrounds meta, I'm instantly banning Serpent. Even though that ban's my own, I really don't care. I don't want to deal with the guy. I don't care. You bought a 6-star Serpent, ban. You bought a rank 2, rank 1, 7-star ban. So yeah. But anyway, we're going with the special damage stat focus. Like I said, they're throwing a lot of specials with the guy, so not really focused on crits or crit damage or whatever. And of course, we gotta use Pierce. You know, you feel like you're already taking a bunch of block damage from him, so you might as well take more. And plus, you can't dex and dodge a special, so hey, feel free to take all that damage on the block. We're here for it. The most balanced champion. I'm in love with it. Alright, and my last rank 4 before I get busy showing you guys the other rank 4s and whatever videos coming up. But hey, we have Yolina. And yeah, it was just like, you know, she was released. First time I fought her in a Battlegrounds match, I was like, I gotta have her. That's it. And, you know, I saw the SP1, I saw the SP2, and after that, I was like, if I didn't do anything else, I would throw her on defense, and then eventually I learned how to use her on offense, like Bullseye, you know? But plus, she's also number 2 in Prestige, so we had to take her to SIG 200, and, you know, trying to keep the Alliance in the top 45 or whatever, so we're doing our part. She does have the ability to deal critical hits damage, so that's why I'm currently running crit damage rating. Like I said, I haven't really used her much on offense, to be honest. I've used her a couple of times in the current Battlegrounds meta, but that's just hitting into the block. So I am going to end up trying armor penetration and special attack damage, just to get an idea of what those are like. But of course, we're going to use Pierce on here. I mean, that's a given. Have you seen what her specials are like? Those definitely take... You can dex and dodge. Ironically, I can dex her SP2 better than her SP1 right now. It's like, I don't know, it's like the timing, it's like things slow down on the SP1, so at some point in the SP1, I keep getting clipped. I finally got to a point where I can actually, like I said, dex the SP2 pretty consistently, because that one's almost similar to Bullseye, where you're just constantly swiping back, to be honest, for me. So those two are kind of similar. We're working on the SP1 dex. But we have Yolina in all her glory and annoyance. So, you know, plus whether she's nerfed by the her trial period, rebalance, whatever you want to call it, she's still like, you know, a top prestige champ. So the investment, I think, is worth it. Alright, so you guys have seen my 8 rank 4s that I have at the moment before this event kicked off. Stay tuned, because now we're going to get caught up. I have 3 rank 4s coming your way. I am saving my 4th rank 4 for Mr. Fantastic, so the day I get him, he's going to rank 4, and he's going to be awakened day 1. SIG level, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Until next time, peace.